We used to start the interview always in the same way. I ask the artist, the musician in this case, to present himself to the audience, but the way you would like to be introduced. How should I introduce you?
Maybe you can say I'm Chris Harms from Germany's most favorite boy group. No, I don't care. You can introduce me however you want to. I mean,
Okay.
people know who I am. I'm the singer of Lord of Lost, and but we have a lot of humor, so you can make out of it whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Well, I don't know. Maybe 18 years ago, you were starting to upload videos on MySpace and things like that.
Mhm.
And just in a few hours, in a few days, you're touring China. What happened in
Yeah.
the middle? How did you get from uploading your solo video to this touring the world?
Yeah, actually, sometimes I ask myself that when this did flip over, because when I started doing this, I mean, Lord of Lost as a band exists since 2009, and
Mhm.
before that, it's 2 years I was alone, just writing songs, uploading shit on MySpace. And which is, yeah, it's crazy. It's like 18 years ago when I started the MySpace with Lord of Lost, and I forgot the password. I cannot log in anymore. But the site actually still exists. It's crazy. I actually need to check what the last post was. It's 100 years ago. And yeah, we just started as a hobby band. We never meant to do this professionally. And somehow, at the moment now, this is my main job. I do other things. I write music for other musicians. I produce music, but my main job is being the singer of Lord of Lost. How did that happen? I don't know, but I know that we never had overnight success. It was never like something, oops, miraculously happened, and then we were like well known. We did the long way, the hard way, step by step by step by step, never stopping, always working, sacrificing time, sacrificing many, many other things. We did all the things. We slept in the car in winter because we couldn't afford a tour bus, all this stuff through all these years. And it was growing and growing and growing bit by bit.
Mhm.
And then, of course, there were some big steps. Suddenly, a certain person called Steve Harris decided to take us on tour with his band.
Mhm.
And suddenly we toured with Iron Maiden.
Mhm.
Not once, but twice. We did Eurovision. We had a number one record in the charts. And yeah, all these things, these were big steps, of course, but it didn't come overnight. It really
You
just
know,
came step by step.
you probably know that for some people, the rock star life is something easy and funny and
Yeah, yeah.
always a joke.
Yeah.
Most of the people doesn't know the hard work that is behind that.
Yeah, and people still use the word or the expression rock and roll. They still use it as an excuse for being lazy. You do
Mhm.
something bad happens, they're like, yeah, whatever, rock and roll. And you're like, rock and roll for me is not being lazy and waiting for success to come. Rock and roll for me is to stand in the rehearsal room at 5 in the morning because you need to go on tour the next day and you have to work another job all day, or the other guys in the band have to work another job all day, whatever, and you still go into the rehearsal room at 5 in the morning to rehearse for 3 hours before the rest of your family even gets out of bed at home.
Mhm.
This is rock and roll for me, and some people forget this. And like today, you are now the 11th interview I'm
Uh-huh.
doing in a row. And the main question is always, how did you enjoy the last time in South America? How did you
Mhm.
enjoy the city?
Yeah.
And my answer is always the same. Like, I didn't enjoy the city because I didn't have time to see it. What
Of
I
course.
saw was a plane from the inside, a plane from the outside, an airport, um, a backstage room, a dressing room, a stage, some people at a meet and greet, and then my bed in the hotel. and at 4:30 in the morning I had to get up to take the flight to the next city. So this is, and I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying some people are astonished, like, why? But you came to Buenos Aires. Why didn't you check out the city? I was like, yeah, because I had to play Santiago de Chile the next day, and then Rio de Janeiro or whatever. I don't know. So I'm not complaining, but some people forget that still, like being a little more successful, it's still hard work. And if you look at Iron Maiden, we toured with them, and they're like one of the most successful bands in the world. Do you think they are lazy all day? No. Do you think Steve Harris or Bruce Dickinson would have come that far by being lazy and being rock and roll? No. They are being fucking hardworking still every day.
And beside, in the middle of all this work you have every day, when you're in contact with people or some journalists, you must be smiling always, being in good humor. Maybe just like the other people, you have some bad days, and but you know that if I see you in a bad day, that's what I will remember of you. It's not something easy to take, I guess.
Sometimes not, because, I made my hobby my job. That means I have a job that I love. But sometimes I have a bad day. I'm sick. I'm sad. Someone in the family died. Your pet is sick. Whatever, or you have some, whatever sorrows, things that bother you. So even with a great job, sometimes a great job is a job you don't like. Sometimes I get up and I really don't want to play the concert at night because at home someone is being sick and I'm in another continent and I cannot be there for them and I just feel bad for not being there. So yes, sometimes you just have to put on the smile and do the show and be a professional. But luckily, most of the time, I love what I'm doing. But yes, it would be a lie if an artist would say like, no, every day is great. It's all just smiles. It's all beautiful. Sometimes it's just a job and you have to soldier through and hope that you will be healthy again in a couple of days and you don't have to cancel a concert because, if to cancel a concert, then a couple of thousand people will go home sad and you still have to pay your crew and you're losing shitloads of money every day you're sick. And yeah, of course, sometimes you just have to soldier through it. You're absolutely right.
Of course. And I don't know, maybe 9 studio albums. I don't know how many other release things. Talking about composing, it's inspiration or work?
First the one and then the other, because you cannot work on a song unless you're not being inspired to create one. And inspiration for me is like I'm not really being actively inspired. Like I cannot go somewhere. I don't have this magical place where I go and sit and then suddenly I'm feeling inspired and poetical, and then there's a great song. It's this what in the movies it's like that, there's this artist and he's going to the beach to be inspired, and then he's inspired, then he writes a song. It doesn't work like that way for me. For me, song ideas are like ideas. When do ideas happen to you? They just happen like that. Suddenly, without planning, you have an idea for whatever. Maybe what you want to eat tonight. You're like, oh, I have an idea. I want to have pasta. And the idea just comes. And the song idea is still an idea. So the idea is first, or the inspiration, and then it's the work. Because then you have to recreate what you hear in your head and try to produce a song demo or whatever, which I can show to the other guys in the band. I'm like, guys, I had an idea. Because they cannot look in my head. I need to give them some kind of sketch.
And in the middle of all this, we're talking, who do you see AI, the role it begins to play?
It's like I can understand that many people are afraid of that and that it's being misused, especially first and foremost right now for pictures. And many artists feel like, hey, AI couldn't create this without fully analyzing everything that also I did as an artist. I must say, in some cases, it's really helpful. 20 years ago, when I was writing lyrics and I needed to find a rhyme, I was looking in a book. There's rhyme books where you're like, okay, which words rhyme to love? So you go there like, okay, this could help. A couple of years later, there were websites like rhymezone.com. So you go there, you type in love, and then you find the stuff. Now you go to ChatGPT and ask, like, I have a sentence here. Do you have some good rhymes on that? I don't feel bad doing these things, being inspired with AI, working together. Like, okay, this could work. That's a nice idea. That rhymes with love beautifully. But what I wouldn't like is to tell ChatGPT, hey, I want to write a love song. Please give me full lyrics. Thank you. I think it's a difference if you use AI as a tool, because the tool itself never replaced the worker. There still is the worker with a tool in his hand. Like when mankind invented the hammer, it didn't replace the worker. It was a tool for the worker. So I'm not afraid of using AI as a tool, but I don't want to be replaced by it.
Yeah, of course. Well, as we said a few minutes ago, I don't know, maybe in 2 days you'll be in China.
Yeah.
Then you have North America, Latin America. You've been in Europe touring last year. Is it real that the people, the fans, the audience are different in different countries?
Yes, but it's not just the countries; it's also the cities. Like when people in Berlin are very different compared to the people in our hometown, or in like the south of Germany. And sometimes you even can compare cities. Like people in Berlin are very close to people in London, Paris, and New York. Why? It's all capital cities. It's cities where you can experience whatever you want at every time at the day. So people are kind of oversaturated by things. So they are hard to impress. If you play a concert somewhere, I don't know, outside of the city, far away from the big cities, where just some villages are, people are more easy to impress. They are more open to party. When I check South America, the people in general, people in Mexico, people are very, very loud there. Their sing along is very loud. They like to party. They even dance in front of the stage. Even for our music, we play rock, metal music, people dance. If you go to Russia, people are same as loud, like in South America, but they don't dance. So, there's like similarities and differences in countries, continents, but also sometimes within one country in different cities. It's different everywhere. And sometimes I cannot even put it in words. I just know it's different, but I couldn't really explain you why.
and talking about the live shows, what's the best for you? The big arena where you have thousands of people, or maybe some smaller place where you can even smell the guy in front of you.
Yeah, like I'm not so fond about the smelling, but I enjoy the intimate contact at small shows, which is beautiful, which you do not have on a big stage where the audience is 12 meters away because you need place for the pyro and stuff. I enjoy both, but it's both vastly different. When I'm on a big stage, I enjoy to have the opportunity to have this huge show with pyro and everything, and it makes me feel insanely strong and larger than life. You feel on the stage like you're a superhero, which is cool. It's like being a child playing a superhero, But when you play a small show with like 100 people and everybody's so close together and you can actually see the people crying in front of you, laughing, smiling, dancing, or even smelling them, you really feel how music can connect on a personal level, which can be the same amount of enjoyment, but it's a totally different experience. It doesn't make you feel larger than life. It makes you feel like being one with the audience. So actually, the smaller the show is, the more you have this "we are one" feeling. Yes, but I can enjoy both. I don't prefer any of that.
Great, great. Chris, changing the topic, how do you live the pass of time?
Um, Actually, very relaxed. You know, I'm not the kind of person who is afraid of getting older or who wishes to be younger again.
Mhm.
You know, I actually enjoy very much one thing which is coming automatically when you're getting older. It's the relaxation about
Mhm.
certain kind of things. You know, when I was 20, I was worried about things. When I look back now, I ask myself, like, why was I worried? So you know the great thing about getting older is that you don't care about some
Yeah.
things again, which seems so extremely important, and then after a couple of years you realize they are not. You know, when I was 20, I had so much fear of missing out when some friends of mine were going to a bar. I had to
Mhm.
go there, although I hate bars, but I felt like I miss something if I don't join them. And now I'm like, I don't like that. Why would I go
Mhm.
there? And I'm fine with that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't worry that I miss something. And I think this is something you just need time for that. You
Yeah.
cannot cheat on time. Some things just come automatically when you're getting older, and I enjoy that a lot.
Great, great. Well, tell the people why should they go to see Lord of the Lost in Buenos Aires next May the 1st, I guess.
You know, actually, I don't like telling people what they should do, but what I can tell them is you should go because you never know if we're gonna come back again, because I might be dead in 1 year. You never know. So use the time wisely. But if you feel like you don't like concerts, you shouldn't go, because what I just said about the bar, you do not miss anything.
Great, great.
I know maybe it's a bad marketing move from me to say that, but you should do what feels right. But at the same time, you never know when the things you love might come back. So use your time.